Anyway, the next game's a little problematic here. The Vikings at the Texans. This line opened up Texans -4. It went down to 3.5, and then it shot up to 4.5 on Tuesday afternoon because the news came out that 3 Titans players tested positive for the virus. And now this game might be postponed. We don't know what's going to happen. No Vikings have tested positive yet, which is good news. But they might, they shut down operations for Minnesota, like they're not practicing right now. So we don't know what's going to happen. So I don't know what you wanted to say about this game. This line is off the board at every sportsbook right now. So I guess take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I think of the 2 games that are in question, I think this one is far more likely to happen depending on the results of the COVID tests that they're undoubtedly doing now and will be doing throughout the coming days. They could reschedule it out of an abundance of caution or just push it back a couple days just to let them test more. I don't know what will happen. I think if this game is going to happen this week, though, and this line does open back up at -4, I think that'll be the number to be at. I would prefer the Vikings in that one. I think Mike Zimmer has the coaching edge over Bill O'Brien by quite a lot. And, even though the Vikings have a weakness at corner that Houston can exploit, but the Houston defense hasn't been good against the run. They allow the most rushing yards to running backs in the league. And then against the pass, they haven't been great either. They've been better, but I feel like Minnesota can move the ball. So I think Minnesota would have a legitimate chance to win. Obviously, there's still a lot of questions, and the Vikings team may not be able to practice and may be very distracted by what's going on. So it'd probably be a no bet for me until we know exactly what's happening or if the facility opens back up. But I would still favor Minnesota just because of the coaching advantage. And I think that even if the players aren't on the field, Mike Zimmer can kind of communicate to them over Zoom or whatever, like this is what we're going to be doing, and this is how we're going to do it. So I trust Zimmer, but this is absolutely a no bet until we know more.
Yeah, I agree. Before the news broke, I plan on picking the Vikings. You mentioned Mike Zimmer over Bill O'Brien. That's that is definitely a coaching mismatch if you ever seen one, for sure. Bill O'Brien does not deserve to be favored by more than 4, over anyone right now, considering the roster he has. And also, I think the Vikings kind of – I talked about how last week it was tough to take them. I eventually did pick them, but I thought it was difficult to bet them because it was kind of like catching a falling knife, to use the stock market reference, because we never know like how bad they would be because they were just brutal the first 2 weeks. I thought we needed to see signs of life in them. And we did last week. Like they were up 24-12 over the Titans. Justin Jefferson was a big difference. Just playing him over Olabisi Johnson, like that should have been a no-brainer. I don't know what took him so long, but he was amazing in that game. And like that's what they missed because Stephon Diggs was out. Now they have I don't know if you can call him a number 1 receiver yet, but he's definitely at least the number 2 right now. So I like the momentum the Vikings have, and the Texans can't stop anything. They can't stop the run or the pass. So I thought the Vikings could move the ball well against the Texans and then cover or maybe even win outright. But then this news broke, and I was kind of like thinking the same thing you were, where, the Vikings could either be distracted or just not prepared because they're not practicing. So it's a tough spot. If they end up playing this game, I'm probably going to be on I'm probably going to be on the Texans, I think, if the Vikings can't practice at all and if it sounds like they're going to be distracted. But if the Vikings can get at least 1 practice in and it doesn't sound like they're distracted, I'm going to pick the Vikings.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go about it. Like, I can't bring myself to pick the Texans no matter what because I just can't trust Bill O'Brien. We go over this. We went over this almost every week last year, and I think I picked against Texans all but one time, and it didn't pan out every time. But yeah, if the Vikings don't go on the practice field, it is going to be very hard for them to cover this spread. So I'm more than anything else interested to see how the NFL handles this and whether or not this game will happen. But I'll lean on the Vikings, but I don't think I can bet this one really either way because I'm not betting on Bill O'Brien in any circumstances, and I don't think I'll be able to bet on the Vikings confidently this week.
Yeah, probably a good move not to bet on Bill O'Brien under any circumstances. I think you're doing well if you haven't done that.